Hello, this is Brenda Green, and I'd like to welcome you to Living Indigo. Today, I want to talk to you about the FIRE movement. That may be something that you've heard about, you were curious about, or you're thoroughly immersed in it and doing it already. But if not, this is something that I want to share with you that might be helpful for you, may give you some ideas or some suggestions. And so we can get into it. But before I do that, I do want to tell you that if you like this presentation, hit the like button, subscribe, tell all your friends, because again, we're spreading a movement, and I just want to make sure that we do that. So, is this for you? FIRE. FIRE stands for Financially Independent Retired Early. And again, like I said, it may or may not be for you, but let's talk about it. So one of the things to consider about it is that if you are trying to be FIRE, then your living expenses are covered by your investment returns. That means if you retire early, the money in your investments is what you're going to live on. And there's a rule 25 and a rule 4%. So the 25 rule is whatever your income is right now, multiply that by 25, and that will give you how much money you need to save in order to retire early. The 4% rule just means that from your investments, you need to be able to live off 4% of your investments. So every year you'll take out 4% to live on. If things go bad in the stock market and your money drops a little bit, you might have to live off less or maybe get a part-time job or something or have another stream of income to help you sustain that 4%. But that's typically what it's about. FIRE is a way of life for a lot of people, and it's a growing movement across the globe. People are really embracing it. Not because they suddenly love budgeting or personal finance. I mean, who does? Well, maybe I do. Because people right now, they want their independence. So to become financially independent, those seeking FIRE, they need to maximize these particular areas. They need to reduce their spending, they need to increase their income, and they need to maximize their saving rate. In other words, what they're saving, they need to be investing it to get the biggest rate that they can. Naturally, the more money that you need to get by, the more you'll need to save. And if you don't need a lot of money to live on, if your expenses are low, then you don't need to save as much. So there are two terms that you can listen to or think about too. One is called fat fire. So fat fire, that's the traditional retirement, where those people who are pursuing the fire, so they want to still get out early, but they don't want to change their lifestyle at all. They want to still have that standard of life. So that means they have to save a whole lot more money. It may take them a little bit longer to retire early, but that's what their goal is. So use your car as an example. So someone seeking fat fire, they would need to keep their second car and simply add another $200,000 to their portfolio to afford a second car in retirement. So now the lean fire, that's another term. The lean fire is when you cut your expenses drastically in order to save, save, save. You want to lower your annual cost of living as much as possible. You live a lean lifestyle and you're planning on a lean retirement. So you reduce your lifestyle and you decrease the amount of money that you'll need to have invested in order to reach your financial independence. This also means that you'll have less to live on after you retire. So people seeking lean retirement, freedom is more important to them than a lifestyle. Financial independence isn't about money only or early retirement. It's really about reclaiming your time and being able to do whatever you want to do. You're no longer that slave to that wage that the employer is giving you. You're completely independent and you're on your own. And that's what a lot of people really love about FIRE. As always, I do have my beliefs. I like the FI part of the FIRE movement, and that's the financially independent. Whatever happens, if you can be financially independent and not have to fear for a job or anything else, if your bills are all paid, you have no debt, it's a wonderful sense of freedom for you, and that's to me the most important part of it. You also need to make sure that if you're doing FIRE, you're doing it for the right reason. So if you're thinking, oh, I want to be financially independent and retire early because I hate my job, well, that's not the right rationale for it because apparently you're going to need to save some money and you might have to stay in that job that you hate. So if it's a job situation and you're not happy, you're going someplace every day, 8 to 10 hours a day, and you hate it, change that situation. I'm not saying that it's not a reason to still do FIRE, but don't let it be those outside factors. I'm so miserable every day. I'm going someplace that's killing me emotionally, spiritually, and it's the job. Change the job. You can still do fire, but change the job so that you have some satisfaction in what you're doing. Fire requires discipline, and you have to stick to a real regimen. If you truly want to be independent and retire early, then your savings have to be bumped up. You have to forego a lot of things. That discipline is so key. So make sure that you're prepared to do whatever it takes in order to achieve that goal. Don't let other people's lifestyles dictate yours. If you're looking at other people's things and you're saying, well, I want to retire and have this amount of financial whatever, really assess what is it that you need to truly be independent financially and be happy in your retirement. What some people do in their lifestyles may not be something that you want. You might be thinking you want to do those things, but in reality, look at what makes you happy, what gives you joy. If you like going to movies, if you like traveling a little bit or whatever, think about those things and put that in the equation for your fire. But don't do something that someone else is doing or thinking that's the lifestyle you should be doing. Some people like the opera. I've been once. It's not necessarily my cup of tea. I'd rather go to a museum. So think about what your lifestyle dictates. Learn to do things for yourself. It could be cooking. It could be painting your house. I love painting the rooms in my house. I also don't like paying for the painters to do it when I do a great job. So learn to do some things for yourself. I also mentioned growing some food. I would love to have a little garden. I'm not capable at this moment to have that because I don't have any land space. But I know people who do grow food. And so you can maybe have a little plot of land where they live at. They might give you a little space that you can do that. But learn to do some things for yourself because if you're truly going to do fire, some of those things will definitely come in handy in order for you to save as much money as possible. Get creative with your entertainment. Again, if you're truly trying to do fire, then you can't be going out to these expensive venues, concerts, or whatever. So get creative with it. There are a lot of free things that you can do. In my city, they have free concerts all the time in the park. I go do that. So save your money. Find other ways to be creative. Maybe get together with friends, have board games at night, card games. Those are the kind of things that my parents did when we were coming up. You can do that too. And again, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So thank you so much for your time and your attention. I hope this has been helpful for you. If it gave you any kind of insights in terms of things that you might be thinking about for your future, then do. If you have any other ideas or suggestions that you want me to talk about, just let me know, leave me a note, and I will do some research and get on that for you. So again, thank you so much and have a great day. Until the next time.